Hey, here we are once again.
And we are back.
Tuesday, September 1st.
Yeah.
August is fucking over. Yay.
Yeah.
Even though it's still hot out.
We saw a pretty good free movie last night. That what was off Tubi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. I thought it was going to be a fucking shit show. And it kind of was a shit show. But they went all in on it.
But in the best possible way.
Yeah, they went all in on it. It was kind of like as good as Velocipaster.
Not quite as zany as that.
Yeah, not as zany, but...
but in the sense that... And it was better made than Velocipaster.
Yeah, I think it was.
But in the sense that they took a premise and, like, just ramped up the ridiculousness and they just all knew what they were making.
It's about these two hot vampire chicks run into some cannibals and... They kill the cannibals, and then the fucking priest and the fuck from The Exorcist and the woman from fucking 45. Miss 45, which is a damn mutant nun with guns. They have to fight an alien invasion from War of the Worlds that bring alien zombies.
Well, aliens, when the aliens attack people, it makes the people.
Yeah. It's kind of like Body Snatchers and something. It's everything all mixed in the same movie. The acting was spotty, it was, but the writing was really good. The writing was really good, and the storytelling was really good. It was fucking hilarious.
I have to... Okay, so what ended up happening with this was that I'm on Tubi, and I'm looking for... I do a search for all the 2020, like, horror movies, and this is one that came up. I picked this one in particular just because... The sentence-long description sounded funny, and also because it was only an hour and 15 minutes long, and we had like other shit we had to watch. So I was like, "Well, this one's pretty short, and it sounds like a funny like premise."
They did it right.
So let's watch it. It's called Savage Creatures. Did we say that?
No. It's got a good premise. Production value is pretty good. This
better than I was expecting. Actually,
yeah. The movie was not made for a whole lot of money, and you can tell. But the edit was great. It was a very fast-paced edit. It kept you in the movie and wanting to see what was going to happen next. There's a lot of fucking homages to other fucking obscure movies. And you go, oh, okay, nice talk. It's hilarious. It's funny. And they did what I recommended, which that's why I give it my seal of approval. Don't worry about this 2-hour shit. Edit it down into something that's enjoyable through the whole thing. I'd rather have a fucking awesome hour and 15 minutes than a fucked up hour and a half, Yeah. Cut that shit out. Make it short, high impact. And if you're gonna if you have a low budget movie and it's gonna be crazy, you make it even more crazy.
Yeah, just make it as crazy as
make
possible.
Make it as crazy as fucking possible, and that's what they did. So the movie stood out, and it had a good sound. It had a good score.
Yeah,
it had a good score.
This was actually written, directed, and edited, I think, by the same guy, Richard Lowry.
Was it? He did a good job. Richard, you did a good job.
This movie was like a hell of a lot of fun.
That's how you do it.
Like I said, when I first started, like I said, I picked it because I was like, oh, that sounds kind of funny, and it's only an hour and 15 minutes long because we have other shit we gotta do. And so I put it on, and like I was watching the opening credits, and like in the opening credits, they kind of showed like some of the scenes from the movie, like behind the opening, because it was all red and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and I'm kind of going, this is gonna be like Ouija Shark level. But actually, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is actually much better than I was expecting. Like the cinematography was actually decent. Like the way the shots were set up was really decent. Yep. So it's like it's much. You can tell that it's like a micro-budget movie, but you can tell that it's done by somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know what
it was done right. It was shot very competently. Where it's taking place is very interesting. It's somewhere out in the fucking. It looks like
out west somewhere, like Colorado or Utah or somewhere.
There's snow happening. It gives you a very kind of a small town out in the middle of nowhere fucking feel. So the tone is right. The interior shots are good. Where they shot it is good. The girls who are the main characters are two hot vampire chicks. Their acting is not great, but it doesn't matter. It fits with the fucking tone of the movie. And they seem to get better as the movie goes on. Kind of like the thing was shot in order, it might have been. They seemed a little wooden at the beginning. Maybe it was me, I don't know. Maybe it took me a while to warm up to them. But it seemed, their acting seemed to be a little wooden at the beginning. But as it went, they got better. The fucking priest that comes in knocks it out of the fucking park. He doesn't know what accent.
He commits.
He commits to this shit. All right. This should have been fucking, what was his name? Anthony Hopkins. Right? It was like he should have played this role, and he's doing an Anthony Hopkins. But he's an Anthony Hopkins, over the top Anthony Hopkins that doesn't know if he's doing an Irish accent or an English accent, but fuck it. You know what? They're all the same.
Well, you know what's funny about that though, because like when we were watching that scene, and then and it was really funny, but then like at the end, like during the end credits, they showed outtakes.
Yeah.
And they showed him like doing a scene, and then he stopped and he said something like, "What the fuck voice am I doing?"
Yeah.
He was aware that
he was aware of what it was.
Maybe the director's just like, just go with it.
Just go with it. Yeah. They're all the same. Fucking it just added to the humor. Because the movie's fucking winking at you and being tongue-in-cheek through the whole thing. It's just trying to give you a pleasant experience. And I wasn't even drinking. I should have been drinking for this movie. It probably
this definitely needed some drinks. We didn't even have any drinks last night.
It was
now
still
I'm
good.
Kind of bummed out.
It'd have been even better. It'd have been even better if I was drunk. But it was just, this is how you make a low-budget micro
Like
movie.
I said, this is in the same spirit as Velocipaster. Like I said, it's not as crazy as that one. It's like more competently done than that one.
Yeah.
But in
Velocipaster, though, man, there were some decisions that they made with the camera work.
Yeah.
That
it was deliberate.
It was so deliberate, but only an expert would have done some fucked up shit.
That's
like
true.
That.
That's true. Only
like
people
when that
know
guy fell on the field and they're and then the camera's following him. It's definitely by hand and shit. It was hilarious.
But I think this one was like in the same spirit as that, because we use Velocipaster. That's kind of like the yardstick nowadays for that type of movie.
Yeah.
Where it's winking at you and it's funny and like everyone's in on the joke, but not in an obnoxious way, because I feel like some horror comedies go too far in that direction, like look how clever we are, look how funny we are, and this one didn't really do that. It was just more naturalistically funny, just like the whole situation of it was funny, just like Velocipaster. It was just like, you know, the whole like premise of the movie is so ridiculous that you don't really need the people in it to be ridiculous on top of that, because just the situation is ridiculous. Yeah,
and he's winking at you, you know, in certain scenes where they're in the bathtub, the two girls in the bathtub, and they're like, you've seen The Hunger, you know.
That's what, you know what, that's what made me be like, dude, director of this movie, I love you. Because there are so many horror comedies that homage other movies. Yeah. But they usually homage better known ones, like The Exorcist or Evil Dead or something like that. Yeah. I think this is the first low budget horror movie that I've seen that referenced The Hunger.
The Hunger, yeah.
There was two chicks in a bathtub full of blood. Yep. And that Schubert piece that's become indelibly like attached to The Hunger for me, because it played so many times during the movie. And, you know, them just like sitting there like reminiscing
calling each other my dear,
the good old days of like being vampires and stuff like that. And it was just so Hunger. I was just like, dude, I love you so much right now. I'm just like, that. Who does that? Nobody does that.
And then when the nun came in with the fucking 45s and shit, well, I don't think they were 45s, but the two pistols.
And she was mute, and they pointed that. I was like, oh, is that a Ms. 45 reference? Right. Because that was, you know.
There was a bunch of little ones. And then, like, the radio announcement, and then the old-fashioned, and it's like, oh, okay, War of the Worlds. We got you, bro. War of the Worlds. And it's just right down to the fucking War of the Worlds fucking level.
And it kind of, like, the way the aliens looked, like, when they were coming down from space, like, that
could practical effects, too.
Yeah, it could have been, like, face huggers, but to me, it looked more like the bat aliens in It Conquered the World, that Roger Corman one with Beverly Garland and Lee Van Cleef was in that.
Yeah, and what's funny is that they were flying in fucking V formation slowly over the fucking Earth, and you go, oh, okay, yeah. Just like from War of the Worlds, the damn boomerang spaceships, you know. I
liked that it had homages, but not really obvious ones, and also not like so overt that they're just like.
You got to know movies.
Look how clever we are.
You got to know movies to know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
On some of them.
And like I said, that Hunger one, I was just like, that just made me all warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah.
But so the whole, like I said, I read the description of this, I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty funny. The whole like fucking premise of this, we start out with a dude, like a kind of a chubby dude named Darby, and his mom, Liz. I thought they were like married couple at first, but I guess they were mother and son.
It was all incestuous.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. And so they...
You're not going to put any spoilers in this,
No. But
you're going to go through the whole premise?
No, I'm just saying they pick up somebody you know, they're cannibals. Like I said,
Yeah.
you find out that they're cannibals like in the first couple minutes of the movie. Then they pick up these 2 girls. Turns out the 2 girls are vampires. And then there's an alien attack, and then there's like fucking aliens make zombies. It's craziness. And then there's like this fucking over the top priest and the mute nun that comes in, and everyone's like battling the aliens. And the vampires are really pretty much the main characters. I mean, we kind of start out with cannibals, but then once the vampires come on the scene, the 2 of them are pretty much
they're the main characters,
the protagonists, the heroes of the movie, I guess.
Yeah, bunch of cool shit happens. And I liked the fact that they had some decent creature effects.
Yeah,
all right. They cut the creature apart. It was like on the level of like From Beyond or Reanimator. You know, they're cutting into the fuck. And there's some Lovecraftian shit that happens in there. The priest goes on about a bunch of Lovecraftian stuff.
About
the
pineal gland.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Pineal glands, and it's just, you know.
And how that was where the seat of the soul was, and that's what the zombies were eating.
Strength of the movie was competently shot, and it's good storytelling, excellent script, good humor.
It's not, it's
good
very
humor.
good. It's very, you said it's very good natured.
It's good natured movie.
Good natured.
Yeah.
You know, they knew how ridiculous, and they're just like, they just keep piling it on, but not like to a zany extent where you're just like, oh my god, just knock it off. But it was just like,
I'm 51, man. That's the kind of movies we grew up with.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way.
It's just fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, that's the way Reanimator was. All the Reanimator sequels, From Beyond, that's that tone. You know what I mean? And it was a horror movie. Yeah, it had gore in it. Yeah, it would trip you the fuck out. It was funny though, also. Yeah. You know, not you know, it's just like Evil Dead. It was kind of funny. Yeah. You know, that kind of took the edge off of it because if shit was too serious, then you end up going, you know, kind of like the Rob Zombie direction where you kind of feel bad about watching it. You know what I mean? Like Devil's Rejects or something, you know? I like that too. It's just not as an enjoyable experience for me as something that's like this.
It's kind of like different. I like all kinds of horror movies, but there are some that it's like you see them one time and you're like, I don't think I need to watch that again.
You don't need to see it again, right?
Or you have to be in a particular mood to watch it because you know it's going to make you
kind of feel bad.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is how I feel about Hereditary. As much as I loved that movie, it's like I'm almost like anxious about watching it again because I don't want to feel like shit like I did after watching that movie the first time.
Midsummer would be like that too.
Because it was just like so dread-inducing and it just made me feel so terrible that it's just like... Yeah. Which, like I said, that's what it was supposed to do.
In a way, Joker's almost like that.
Yeah, like it's
good
a bummer.
enough to see once, but you know afterwards you're like, I don't know if I want to see that one again.
Yeah, because it like puts you in a bad emotional place, which, like I said, that's what it's supposed to do. Right. But it doesn't really like reward.
Yeah, not this one. This one
is just like pure entertainment.
Fun, very very good natured movie. It's not trying to shove any kind of fucking weird agendas down your throat or anything. It's just an honest movie. They're just going to entertain you. That's what it does.
Yeah, and and we've said this a million times. Like especially since we've been doing these like kind of micro-budget stuff that turns up on Tubi all the time. Yeah. There's good movies on there too. It's just that there's a lot of these on there too. But you know, some of these we've started watching them and they were just like so cheap and like that so incompetent really that you can't even sit through them. Yeah. But this one, every now and then you find like a little gem. Yeah. You know, like when you're looking through these, and this is definitely one of those.
Yeah, another thing that's funny is that there's an attempt to brand the movie. And there's an attempt for a possible sequel, which that was the way to go. You could go with this, and, along the lines of say like Phantasm, where the main characters.
Oh yeah, where it could be like kind of a road movie type of.
Didn't you notice that? Yeah. They had both lived, and then they were thinking about how they were going to survive the fucking apocalypse and this and that. And that would have, you could make a sequel. You could make mini sequels, kind of like, and this did kind of feel like. A labor of love, this movie, and so was Phantasm. So I could see that maybe you could make several of these. If that dude who made fucking Birdemic can make several movies, why can't this dude make several movies? And I was saying,
if the dude that made Camp Blood is up to fucking the 8th one now, you know. And that's like a terrible, terrible movie. Yeah. If there was any justice in the world, then this should be a franchise. Yeah. I would watch it. I would watch every single one of them.
This by no stretch of the imagination is a fantastic high budget movie. It just isn't.
Yeah, it's like a tiny budget, you can tell.
It's just a very enjoyable, well made, cheap movie that has a lot of elements of shit show in it, and it has to be a shit show.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a shit show, you wouldn't be watching it. It's just the right mixture. Look, man, Evil Dead was a shit show. Evil Dead 1 was a fucking shit show. Evil Dead 2 was a shit show. Evil Dead 3 was a fucking shit show. That's why you were watching that shit. So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And like this is very hard to get right. And we talked about this when we were talking about VelociPastor. I said, I feel like, with the advent of cheap filmmaking, one of the things you can do is like if you don't have that much money to make a film, then you need to think of a premise that everyone's going to talk about, so everyone's going to watch your movie. Right. So it's going to stand out.
It's got to be enjoyable.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes when people are making those movies, all they think of is the premise, and they don't really put much thought into the actual movie. Yeah. And like I said, it's kind of hard. And you know what? Because I feel like they want to coast on that. But see, this movie didn't do that. No. It lived up to the shit. It's
constantly serving the audience with the next fucking gag or the next fucking wink or the fucking next fucking homage. And the story is unfolding. There's no slow spots in the movie.
Yeah, it just clips right along.
It's just it's better to clip that 15 or 20 minutes of filler out of that movie and get yourself a good solid hour and 15 minutes. And really, for the modern viewer, an hour and 15 minutes is if it's action packed is a plenty for a movie.
It doesn't need to be longer. Yeah, I said, it depends on the story, but it's like
most the modern attention span can handle about an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. Because you're competing against little fucking mobile devices and all kinds of other stuff. Shorter for a movie like this is better. If it's a good hour and 15 minutes of solid, packed entertainment, hell yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't wear its welcome out. Well, like we said, VelociPastor is only about an hour long. Yeah. But it didn't need to be longer than that.
No, and it was fucking...
It was just the perfect
And it was
length.
a quality 1 hour of entertainment chock full of nuts. Chock full of shit. And so, well, that was like, okay, Blood Machines. Each one of those episodes is short, but fucking, it's just full of stuff in it.
I think that was only 45 minutes, 50 minutes altogether.
Altogether. You didn't need to really be any longer. Now I want to see another one. Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah, leave people wanting more.
Right. You now I want to see another one. Now you can have like a little series of little 15-minute fucking shorts. And like that, I think that plays out well in the modern world.
Well, the thing about the premise of Savage Creatures in particular is that it's so sprawling because like every monster, they're like, hey, you want vampires? Hey, you want cannibals? Hey, you want zombies? You want aliens? You want this, that, and the other? You want a killer nun? You want this, that, and the other? Mm-hmm. So they put all of it in there. So there's like so much room for like universe expansion. Exactly. If you really wanted to do that, you could explore lots of different avenues.
That was my takeaway with the road trip premise at the ending of the movie. I went, oh, okay. Like Phantasm. Yeah. That's how so that's just another kind of like another homage. Yeah. Like Phantasm. It's going to it could become a road trip movie. Yeah. Yeah.
Even if they could.
So I give it a thumbs up. Big thumbs up.
I do too. I had a fucking blast with this movie. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of times you click on some of these movies on Tubi that are like really cheap and you're just like, it looked like it was filmed in somebody's house and they don't even know how to do lighting or anything. But it's like, this one was actually a very large, pleasant surprise because this was a lot of fun and they just had a great time with it.
I'd actually buy this movie. I'd buy it.
Yeah. And like I said, if they want to make more, I'd watch them.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sell them things as a fucking as a Blu-ray set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whole little
it'd be fun.
Franchise there.
And just I would keep the same tone, same fun tone, the way Phantasm did, and
yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is on Tubi for free right now. If you've got an hour and 15 minutes to kill, get yourself some cocktails,
it's fucking
beer
hilarious.
or whatever,
it's funny,
and just sit down and watch the madness. Yeah, because it's a lot of fun. This could be a double feature with VelociPastor because VelociPastor's on Tubi too as well. So you can look free entertainment. Yep. Look at that. What a time to be alive, you guys. Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this up because we've been going on for half an hour. And like I said, we probably got other shit we got to do. But we will be back with another either matinee or sidetracks tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.